At long last, it's the end of an era for Taylor Swift's Eras Tour. But what's even crazier is that the Eras Tour generated so much economic impact that economists gave the impact its own name, Swiftonomics. And while everyone points to the impact the Eras Tour had on local restaurants, bars, and hotels each time Taylor Swift rolled through town, few people have benefited more from her shows than professional sports team owners. Now, you might be calling BS on me and think that's a stretch, but believe it or not, the data doesn't lie. You see, the Eras Tour held concerts in a dozen stadiums completely owned by sports teams over the last 18 months. According to an economic breakdown from the Wall Street Journal, the average Eras Tour show generated about $10 million in ticket sales. That number was slightly higher for bigger shows at around $13 million, while smaller shows did about $6 million each night. Now, Swift didn't just get to keep the $10 million in revenue generated for each show. Every concert has expenses that eat into Swift's profit, including things like labor, transportation, production, staging, and promoter costs. But one of the biggest deductions for Swift is renting out the stadium itself. Based on a $10 million show, each stadium might charge $2 million to $3 million per night. This is a huge moneymaker for a venue that would otherwise be empty. And the best part? Many stadiums hosted multiple nights of the Eras Tour, driving even more revenue for the stadium. For example, Swift performed at Anfield in Liverpool for 3 consecutive nights in June, and she did the same thing at Gillette Stadium, Hard Rock Stadium, and MetLife Stadium. But the even luckier stadiums were the Rogers Center in Toronto and SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles, which each hosted 6 nights of shows during the tour. And these stadiums didn't just make money off tickets, they also got a cut of concessions and merchandise sales. So when you add in the $2 million in merchandise sales Swiftie shelled out each night, these stadiums made a ton of money off Taylor Swift's Eras Tour. In total, it's estimated that each venue made anywhere between $3 million to $4 million each night of the Eras Tour. And when you multiply that number by the number of nights each venue hosted a show, each stadium made about $6 million to $8 million in revenue for 2 nights of concerts to $18 million to $24 million for 6 nights. You could say that's the opposite of a cruel summer.